associated with hunting, wild animals, wilderness, childbirth, and the protection of young beings. She is commonly identified as the daughter of Zeus, the chief deity of the Greek pantheon, and Leto, a Titaness. Her twin brother is Apollo, a god linked to light, prophecy, and music. The origins of Artemis are preserved in early Greek literary sources, including the Homeric hymns and the works of later poets and mythographers. The account of Artemis's birth begins with the union of Zeus and Leto. According to mythological tradition, Leto's pregnancy provoked hostility from Hera, the wife of Zeus. Hera attempted to prevent Leto from giving birth by forbidding any land from offering her refuge. As a result, Leto wandered extensively while seeking a location where she could deliver her children. This narrative reflects a recurring theme in Greek mythology, involving divine conflict and the imposition of restrictions by higher-ranking deities. Leto ultimately arrived at the island of Delos, which in some versions of the myth was not considered a fixed or recognized landmass, and therefore was not bound by Hera's prohibition. On Delos, Leto gave birth first to Artemis and subsequently to Apollo. In several accounts, Artemis is described as being born before her brother and assisting in his delivery. This detail contributes to her later association with childbirth and midwifery, despite her primary identity as a virgin goddess. Following her birth, Artemis is depicted as rapidly attaining maturity. In early mythological narratives, she requests specific attributes and domains from Zeus. These requests include perpetual virginity, a bow and arrows crafted by the Cyclopes, a retinue of attendants, and dominion over mountainous and wild regions. Zeus grants these requests, formalizing her role within the Olympian order. Her acquisition of weapons and her association with wilderness establish her as a deity connected to both protection and predation within natural environments. Artemis's identity is closely linked to her role as a huntress. She is frequently depicted carrying a bow and accompanied by animals such as deer. The bow is a symbol of her capacity to act at a distance and to exert control over wildlife. In addition to hunting, she is associated with the regulation of animal populations and the maintenance of balance within natural ecosystems, as represented in mythological narratives. Her connection to young individuals, particularly girls, is reflected in cult practices and mythological accounts. Artemis is often portrayed as a protector of youth and a guardian of transitional stages of life. This role is consistent with her broader function as a deity who oversees boundaries, including those between civilization and wilderness, childhood and adulthood, and life and death. Her domain includes the supervision of rites of passage, particularly those involving young women. Artemis's association with childbirth is derived in part from her role in assisting Leto during the birth of Apollo. Despite her vow of virginity, she is invoked as a protector of women during labor. This duality is characteristic of Greek deities, whose domains may encompass seemingly contrasting functions. Artemis's role in childbirth is not maternal, but supervisory, emphasizing protection rather than participation in reproduction. The mythology of Artemis includes numerous interactions with mortals and other deities. These narratives often involve the enforcement of her boundaries and the consequences of violating them. For example, individuals who intrude upon her privacy or disrespect her status may face punishment. These stories reinforce her position as a deity with clearly defined domains and expectations regarding behavior. Artemis is also associated with specific geographic locations and cult centers. One of the most prominent sites dedicated to her worship is the Temple of Artemis at Ephesus, which became one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. The cult of Artemis at Ephesus developed distinct characteristics that differ from the more commonly recognized depiction of the goddess in mainland Greece. This variation illustrates the adaptability of her identity across different regions and cultural contexts within the ancient Greek world. In addition to Ephesus, Artemis was worshipped in numerous locations throughout Greece, including Brauron and Sparta. Local practices often emphasize different aspects of her identity, such as her role as a protector of youth or a guardian of wildlife. These regional variations contributed to a complex and multifaceted understanding of the goddess. Artemis's depiction in literature and art reflects her established attributes. In visual representations, she is typically shown as a young woman equipped with a bow and quiver, often accompanied by animals or attendants. Her attire is suited for movement, reinforcing her association with hunting and the outdoors. Literary sources emphasize her independence and adherence to her chosen domains. The origins of Artemis can also be examined in the context of pre-Greek and regional influences. Some scholars suggest that her characteristics may have been shaped by earlier deities associated with nature and fertility. Over time, these elements were integrated into the Greek pantheon, resulting in the figure recognized in classical mythology. This process reflects the broader development of Greek religion, which incorporated diverse local traditions. Artemis's role within the Olympian hierarchy is defined by her autonomy and her adherence to specific domains granted by Zeus. Unlike some other deities, she does not typically engage in political conflicts among the gods. Instead, her narratives focus on interactions related to her areas of influence, including hunting, protection, and the enforcement of boundaries. Her relationship with Apollo is one of the most consistent elements of her mythology. The twins are often depicted as complementary figures, with Apollo associated with order, light, and civilization, and Artemis associated with wilderness, instinct, and natural processes. This pairing reflects a broader thematic structure within Greek mythology that emphasizes balance between contrasting forces. Artemis's origins and early development establish her as a distinct and influential figure within Greek mythology. Her birth under constrained conditions, her rapid acquisition of defined roles, and her integration into the Olympian system contribute to her enduring significance. Through literary sources, cult practices, and artistic representations, Artemis is consistently characterized by her association with wilderness, her protection of youth, and her maintenance of boundaries within both natural and human contexts. In summary, Artemis originates as the daughter of Zeus and Leto, born on Delos, under circumstances shaped by divine conflict. Her early actions, including assisting in the birth of Apollo and securing her domains from Zeus, define her functions within the Greek pantheon. Her identity encompasses hunting, protection, and the supervision of transitional states, supported by a wide range of mythological narratives and regional traditions.